Good day, everyone. I'm Jamie, one of the reporters of Module 7, and my report will be based on a very powerful article by Eilish Byrne entitled Evaluating Social Change and Communication for Social Change New Perspective. So, in this report, let's explore four things. What is monitoring and evaluation in its basic form? What frameworks are used? How do we identify indicators for advocacy and social mobilization? At ano nga ba ang mga tamang methodologies to use? Okay, let's start with the basics. Monitoring and evaluation or M&E is usually used in development work to track kung gumagana ba ang isang programa, kung nasusunod ba yung plano, may nangyayari bang epekto, may accountability ba, parang checklist kung minsan. Pero sabi ni Byrne, parang may mali dito. Kasi sa dami ng mga requirements, yung SMART goals, logical framework, indicator tables, sometimes no-overlook or nalilimutan natin yung pinaka-essence kung bakit nga ba natin ginagawa ang isang programa. Sabi niya, nagtanong siya, and I quote, how have we come to a situation in which many people and organizations in the field feel continually frustrated at having to fit their achievements and efforts into externally defined and imposed smart objectives? She explains na maraming sa mga current M&E practices ay para lang masabing meron. Evaluation for evaluation's sake, ika nga. Pero hindi naman talaga nakaka-contribute sa real change. Yung M&E, it should lean more on learning and improvement. Byrne highlights that the received wisdom of M&E are being fundamentally challenged based on a different understanding of development itself as complex, emergent, and transformative. In short, the basic concept of M&E must evolve. It must move away from a rigid top-down and overly simplified approach towards one that supports adaptive learning, embraces complexity, and values participation. Totoo nga, 'di ba? Kasi change is not linear. Kasi tao ang involved, emotions ang involved, relationships. Kaya dapat yung M&E ay adaptive, inclusive, at hindi siya nakabox. Ngayon, let's talk about frameworks. Ito yung structure na sinusundan sa pagmamonitor at pag-evaluate ng isang program. Traditionally, ang ginagamit ay yung logical frameworks. Yan yung may inputs, outputs, outcome, tsaka impact. Okay sana 'to, pero sabi ni Byrne, kulang 'to kung ang gusto talaga nating ma-capture ay yung tunay na social change. Bakit? Kasi ang social change ay hindi predictable and tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, it's not linear and hindi siya laging measurable in numbers. Instead, she introduces the idea of complex adaptive system, which describes CAS as system that are dynamic, meaning it's always changing and influenced by external factors. It's massively entangled. It means involving many interconnected factors. Transformative, meaning able to evolve and be shaped by intervention. Emergent, meaning there's new patterns and behavior emerged over time. Scale independent, meaning occurring at micro at and macro levels. These characteristics challenge the appropriateness of rigid evaluation tools. So si Byrne, nag-advocate siya for evaluation frameworks that are fluid and grounded in the lived realities of those affected by intervention. And may mga nirecommend din siyang alternative frameworks like participatory monitoring and evaluation. Dito, ito yung kung saan ang community mismo yung magde-define what success looks like for them. Nandyan din yung outcome mapping, which focuses sa pagbabago ng relationship and behaviors, not just yung outputs. And yung most significant change or MSC, this is storytelling based. So, ito yung mga stories from the perspective of the one experiencing yung change. These frameworks do not reject measurements, but broaden the meaning of impact to include subjective, contextual, and emergent outcomes. So, bali ang bottom line lang is M&E frameworks should be alive. It should be contextual and participatory. And she also suggests that we look at three alternative ways to think about indicators in the context of participatory communication and social change. Nandyan yung anecdotal evidence. Ito yung mga kwento and experiences that illustrate change. While they are not statistically rigorous, they show real-world impact. Andiyan din yung impressionistic evidence. Ito naman yung kung paano nakikita ng mga beneficiaries ang success. This shifts the power to define change from external evaluators to local actors. Also, nandyan din ang cost of non-communication evidence. These are evidence that demonstrate what goes wrong when communication and participation are lacking. Sabi nga ni Byrne, indicators often miss crucial information about broader institutional issues, partnerships, and less tangible dimension of programs and their impact. And I think we see this a lot, no? Maraming success ang hindi nabibilang. And what I mean is, hindi numerical yung outcome niya, pero ramdam in terms of shifted attitude. Like, for example, pag nababawasan yung stigma or nagkakaroon ng kaunting tapang yung isang tao para magsalita, that's impact. Kaya mahalaga na yung indicators, it should also reflect values, stories, emotions, and relationship, not just statistics. Lastly, methodologies. Ito naman yung how natin sa pag-evaluate. Methodologies refer to the actual strategies and tools we use to carry out evaluation. According to Byrne, the methodology must match the nature of the program being evaluated. So for social change communication, this means adopting methods that are participatory, flexible, learning-oriented, and able to capture complexity. Ayon kay Byrne, hindi lahat ng bagay pwedeng i-randomize control trials. Dapat yung method ay match sa nature ng program. Although pwede naman mag-work yung RCT sa simple technical intervention, pero this may not be suitable pagdating sa evaluating deep interconnected processes of social change. So, ano ang mga methods na pwede nating gamitin? Byrne advocates for dialogic methods. These methods emphasize dialogue and reflection among all stakeholders. Evaluation becomes a space for shared learning. Story-based methods, like the most significant change technique, it involves collecting and analyzing stories of personal and community change. Outcome mapping. This method tracks behavioral change in boundary partners, recognizing that change often happens in relationships rather than through isolated activities. Process use. This refers to using the evaluation process itself as a way to build up the capacity of stakeholders to think evaluatively and learn. Gusto ko tong quote na sinabi niya, evaluation should be more about learning than judging, more about participants becoming critically aware of their own position on issues and developing an understanding and appreciation of new and different perspectives. She reminds us that good evaluation is not just about choosing the right tools. It is also about who does the evaluating, who decides what counts as success, and whose voices are heard. So kung participatory ang method, evaluation becomes empowering, not just a report to file, but a mirror and a conversation. So to wrap up, Eilish Byrne invites us to rethink evaluation itself. Hindi lang ito tungkol sa metrics, kundi tungkol to sa pagiging flexible, listening to communities, learning continuously, and empowering people to define their own success. So in doing so, She challenges us to rethink the very purpose of evaluation and to use it as a tool not just for accountability but for growth, reflection, and transformation. Sabi nga niya, dapat ang evaluation ay hindi lang panukat, kundi proseso sa pagbabago. Thank you all for listening, and I hope this report has brought new insights to you, and see you sa discussion forum.